Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. Hope you are well, and I have dropped this a little earlier than usual. It's because we've got so much coming up this weekend. I've got so much I need to do. We've obviously got the boxing watch along, so Anthony Joshua taking on Francis Ngannou. That's later today on Friday. We're watching that before Smackdown. That should end just before Smackdown begins, so we'll go from the one stream kind of into the other. Obviously Smackdown this week, we got Rock, we got Roman, we got Seth, we got Cody. I mean, Smackdown this week looks massive. And then on Saturday, of course, we got UFC 299 as well, one of the biggest UFC pay-per-views for a long time, actually. I mean, the card looks really, really good, so just a massive kind of 48 hours coming up, and we'll try and get unseens in there as well. So I wanted to get this done, wanted to get this out there, wanted to make sure that you didn't miss out on a new unseen. So yeah, I've got the big talking points from today. The big talking point today has been Bianca, and we'll touch on that in a bit, as well as that AEW Dynamite viewership came out. I think it was 779,000. That is down. I mean, they are normally very consistent at being like between 800 and 850,000. It's just been within that range for so long, and now it's come out at 779. So I mean, look, it's a blip, it's a little dip, it's lower than people expected. I'm sure big business next week for them will get it back to where it needs to be. But it's been a lot of conversation about that today. And Okada's pay has seemingly been revealed. Lots of conversations about that. That one a little bit more WWE related. And we'll touch on that later. So let's start working through some of the smaller stories. Although there's nothing small about that number. WWE's YouTube channel is now over 100 million subscribers. So many congratulations to them. That's a massive milestone. And it's very similar to this channel, actually. There's only 100 million subscribers difference between us and them. So if you are watching and you enjoy these videos, hit the subscribe. And hopefully, actually, as I just said that, hopefully the button, like, illuminated. I did see someone say it on their channel the other day, and the button, like, did a little shimmer. So hopefully we got a little bit of shimmer going on at some point. Seth, right, let's move on. Seth, world champion Seth Rollins has only got one liked tweet, right, stating that Diarrhea Dwayne was, in fact, him making fun of the way that The Rock cuts promos. Now, I think we've already spoke about this. I remember saying specifically about how this was in response to the Cody Crybaby line. So Cody Crybaby's Diarrhea Dwayne, right? So it's making fun of kind of The Rock's promos. That's not really the story here. The story is that there's only one tweet that he likes at the moment, and it's that one about this promo. I mean, what I would say, I feel like I'm just going to repeat myself from the other day. It didn't land, and it certainly didn't land on social media. In the venue, it didn't land at first, but then people did start chanting diarrhea, so it managed to get somewhere eventually. Some people really like the line. A good chunk of people think it's cringe. Whether it's meant to be cringe or not meant to be cringe doesn't massively matter. The bottom line is the line didn't really land. I think he could have set it up a little better than what he did. I think the delivery of it could have been better, should have been better, because we shouldn't really have to have a conversation where we're having to now explain it, you know, like days after the fact. So I don't think it really changes anything, to be honest, but yeah, I think you can see what he was aiming for. The Rock's got Cody Crybabies, which is a cringe line. And so Seth's making fun of him by saying Diarrhea Dwayne. We actually looked, didn't we, at the footage where he, even after the segment, I think it was after the show, he said what he really felt. That was it yesterday's Unseen? They're coming so thick and fast. I don't even know when we've spoken about this, but we did touch on that before. This is interesting from Fightful. Fox to air college football on Friday nights could mean that Smackdown moves to FS1. So we know that their time on Fox is coming to an end. Obviously, it's going to be moving to USA Network. And so it looks like Fox are going to be a lot more focused on what their future is going to be. And it looks like their future is going to be college football on a Friday night. So I don't know if this is going to be every Friday once we get to September, or if it's just going to be once in a while. But it looks like there is going to be some pretty major disruption coming to SmackDown at the end of the year. And we know it really hurts their ratings when they go to FS1. Like, they normally get about 2 to 2.2 million viewers. When they go to FS1, it drops below 1 million. I think it's because FS1 is not in as many households. So people just don't have access to it. So some real disruption coming at the end of the year by the looks of it. Wrestling World CC with this. So Alexa Bliss jacket designer has revealed that they're working on a new jacket. Now, this definitely gives me a little bit of Playground Alexa vibes, but I can't quite tell that it's totally Playground Alexa. I get the little bit of the vibe that there's maybe a little bit of goddess in there. Obviously, Alexa Bliss Gamer would know better than me, but this obviously interesting for two reasons. The first, it indicates Alexa's on her way back, which is not the biggest surprise. She's been away for quite a while now, but it indicates she's on her way back. And second of all, it just gives us a little bit of an indication as to what her gimmick might be when she returns. Now, of course, she could come back and they could give her something new and then, like, you know, go and make a brand new outfit. But it's just interesting that they're working on this at the moment. It just gives us a little glimpse as to where Alexa is in regards to her return. Cody said, this pops me, but also I don't know if I love the question. So WWE asked, are you a Cody crybaby? And Martha here says yes. Cody said, this pops me, so it entertains him, but also he doesn't know if he loves the question. It is funny how Cody fans have embraced that Cody crybaby line and kind of tried to make it a positive, with people taking signs that say, I'm a Cody crybaby. It looks like Cody's still a bit uncertain as to whether that's what we should be doing. But I think, to be honest, it's too late. I think the fans have adopted it, and I think they are now proud Cody crybabies if they are supporting Cody finishing his story. Wrestling World CC again, just letting us know that Conor McGregor has spoken on the possibility of him joining WWE. He says, you never know, let's see. He did also say that there's no plans at the moment, but it seems like that's a door that he doesn't want to totally close. Ivar is angry at not being in the Gauntlet match. You can see that he's noticed it and he's angry about it. I don't think he's been winning recently, though, so that would probably explain why he wasn't included. But someone like Ivar probably should be in the Gauntlet match. I really like Ivar. You know, he's big, he's strong, but he's so agile as well. I feel like there's a lot that he can give, and we haven't got everything out of him, if you will. I feel like we're using him, but we could be using him better. But I suppose you could say that for so many people. You could say that for Ricochet. You could say that for Chad Gable. Like, there's so many people that you could use that for. So, yeah, he's in a difficult position. I understand why he's angry. But thankfully, he didn't stay angry for long, because this Money in the Bank poster came out, and we'll talk about that later. And Ivar took notice of that. So you can see he saw this, and all of a sudden now, I think, you know, as one door closes, another door opens. Ivar winning Money in the Bank. I honestly wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it. Yes, he needs some momentum. He needs wins. We need him to be cutting some promos and whatever. He needs building. But he's good in the ring. He's been involved in some really good matches. He's got a good size. As we said, he's very agile. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. His future, though, is probably when Eric comes back, obviously the Viking Raiders and the tag belts. So don't know that it'll go that way, but thought that was interesting. And LA Knight took notice as well. He didn't put eyes, he just put money. He just put a money emoji, a big stack of cash. So he noticed also. John Cena was on late night TV and basically confirmed that he is going to be free for WrestleMania. Now, he's filming Peacemaker, so he might be free on the day, but I don't think he's free before. So I don't expect this to mean he's having a match, because I don't think he can prepare for a match. So I think word on the street was that they're going to try and use him in like a memorable moment. So I'm expecting him to be involved in a moment. A bit like, do you remember when he came out all in the Thugonomics stuff? Somewhat along those lines. So, but looks like confirmation he will be there. This was good. POV, you're getting captured. So I just like this. This is Cathy being captured for the game. There's quite a few people that might never have seen how they do it. So all of these cameras in a big circle, they tell her to pull different facial expressions and then they capture them. And they do this with the wrestlers as well. And it does go a little bit wrong later. It does go a little bit awry as she tries to... I think they tell her to frown, and she can't quite do it, and she ends up burst out laughing, and they capture that instead. So she's like, I can't do it, my muscles won't do it. And this is the bit where she bursts out laughing, and it captures it. So she sat there, she laughs, boom, cameras go off, and they're like, oh, that wasn't what we were after, but that's what they got. So it's a fun little clip. It's a fun little clip. And this, I think, was picked up by a non-wrestling account. Cathy said, I didn't know laughter awaits was a thing, but I'm very happy to be on that side of TikTok. So there we go. She's been picked up by even a non-wrestling account that saw this and thought it was fun. And look at this. This is fun. Briggsy XX, thank you. Bullfrog pointing out that there's a green shirt guy in the crowds for 2K. How amazing. A green shirt guy. And you can't tell me that wasn't done on purpose. That was definitely done on purpose. It's not him because they don't have the likeness to him, but they've still popped someone in a green shirt in the front row. So love that. So we've done that. Let's go to NXT, shall we? Right, yeah. God, I feel like this video is going to be about negative comments. So obviously Bianca faced negative comments and we'll talk about that later. But Joe Gacy, someone said we need to study what's happened to Dijak. This time last year he was facing Ilya Dragunov. Now he's facing Joe Gacy. And Joe Gacy saw that and said, here I am. Some say I'm not good enough or whatever it is you might think, but here I am. Week after week, my entire life, I've been told I'm not good enough. A long time ago, it used to affect me. You keep on saying it, and I'll be over here, always proving you wrong. So, Joe Gacy coming out with a very powerful message there, and we will hear from Dijak on this in a moment. Wrestle Talk, just giving us this conversation. Uriah Connors said, thanks for the love. Stay tuned. All gas, no brakes. Chris the Wrestling Informer said, I would have rather you kept your legendary Finley name, but good luck in the future. Uriah Connors said, you're telling me? Lol. Just trust. And Fit Finley said, the name may have changed, but the blood is still the same. This is a conversation wrestling fans love having. And to be honest, I look at it on a case-by-case basis. So, for example, Bron Breakker, I don't mind the fact he hasn't got the Steiner name. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. And the reason is because Bron Breakker is a badass name. Bron Breakker is a great name. So, yeah, him keeping the Steiner name would have been cool. But he doesn't need it because he is his own star. He is going to be a big star. And he's going to do it all on his own. It doesn't matter that he's the son of a Steiner. It doesn't make any difference. He would be a star whether he was or if he wasn't. So to me, that doesn't bother me. Bron Breakker, I think, is a good name. But Brogan Finley, in my opinion, sounds better than Uriah Connors, right? Uriah Connors, I'm not a fan of that name. I mean, I don't hate it. It's just a little bit bland. Uriah Connors doesn't really do anything. It's not like Bron Breakker. Uriah Connors doesn't hit as hard, so I would have preferred him to have kept the Finley name, the Brogan Finley, because it was better. It just sounds better. But I know that you can't really keep your own name. They like to own the name, don't they? That's part of the business strategy. They want to own the name. They want to have, you know, they don't want you leaving and then taking the name somewhere else. So, you know, there are reasons as to why we change the names. But, yeah, I don't know. Uriah Connors, I think we could have done better. I don't hate it, though. It's just a bit... But I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best. Here's Dijak. Look, he said, I don't like Joe Gacy, but I respect him. That crazy SOB took more of a beating than anyone in history and kept getting up and laughing in my face. Post-match, I couldn't bring myself to look at him. I knew he had taken my best shot and was still smiling. Put some respect on his name. So, lovely response there. And Mr. Stone says, Ava, please make this happen. He really wants a match with Lexis King. And Lexis King says, you want to fight me? So, there we go. Lexis King just laughing at that idea. It does feel like that match will happen, though. Definitely feels like we're heading in that direction. Let's do Bianca now, shall we? So that then we can do the fun stuff. I've got a few thoughts on this, but I don't want to spend long on this, right? So let's read this from Sasha, because it's not about this, but it is about this. So it's not about Bianca, but it is about social media. So Mercedes said, social media is so mean. People don't understand that us celebrities, we legit get bullied and harassed online every single day. And people are like, well, it's part of the business. You guys can take it. But it's taken years to toughen my skin, because I would read things and be like, someone called me this and they think I'm this. And breaking down for people's comments. People do that. People get so hurt by people's comments that they take their lives. I told myself, you can't let comments. And who knows if it's spam bots? You see the people in real life and you go, oh, these are the people that hurt you. You let their words hurt you. We've got to be stronger, more powerful as a community, and as people to not let words affect us so hard that we're breaking down, having mental health issues, that we want to think the worst. These are just words. So you kind of get the gist, right? So that was Sasha and what she was saying, which was just not in relation to the Bianca stuff. Here's the Bianca comments, right? So this tweet went up and included these comments here. And it was from WWE Games. So you can see this person said, Bianca doesn't belong, but guess gotta have a black. And this person said, the two on the left, yes. Bianca, absolutely not. Now, that comment, I would say that there's nothing potentially racist there. You know, it could be that they just don't like Bianca, right? Could be racially motivated. May not be racially motivated. Honestly, don't know. Could be that they just don't like Bianca, right? Don't think she's very good for whatever reason, right? The top one, though, definitely talking about the skin color and whatever. I mean, that does sort of suggest there's a racial undertone to that one. So these comments were made, and actually I went and looked, and there's a few comments on there, right? But this is my hot take. I don't think this is the right way to deal with this. I think the right way to deal with this is to report the comments, get them removed, right? I don't think screenshotting them and then putting them onto a different platform, right? Because these were on Instagram. So screenshotting them and then sharing that on a different platform, in my opinion, is you spreading this, really. You know, you're taking these comments and you are putting a bigger spotlight on them. These comments, which were probably viewed, I don't know, 100, 200 times, something like that. You know, that one's got 40 likes, for example, right? This has now been viewed 1.6 million times. 1.6 million times. Now, I'm sure this person didn't think their tweet was going to blow up like this, right? I'm sure they didn't expect this reaction, and there's been quite the reaction, right? But I just don't know that this helps. I don't know that this has helped. For me, delete, report, remove, minimize, promote positivity. Don't highlight negativity. Promote positivity, like talk about positive comments, put a spotlight on them, and negative and racist comments, report, remove, delete. That's my opinion on it, right? So I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan of this tweet. Not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the comments either, right? What I am a fan of is the reaction. So you know, however we got here, it has been lovely to see people coming out and support Bianca, because I really like Bianca. I'm really pleased she's on the game. I have no issue with her whatsoever. I just think that the way that we deal with these kind of negative comments, I think we need to really think about that in the future. Otherwise, this is going to keep happening. Yeah. I mean, you just heard from Sasha. She says everyone gets hate and negative comments every day, which we know is true. So I just don't know that we benefit by highlighting them and getting 1.6 million people to see comments that, you know, not even 1% of them people would have seen initially. But the reaction was good. Here's Becky's reaction. We Love You Bianca was trending. Dakota came out with lovely comments. Big E came out with positive comments. Daphne came out with positive comments. Alexa. I mean, it just went on and on and on. Titus. The reaction was brilliant. Brilliant, right? So love the reaction. That's the situation. And, you know, that's where we are, basically. So this is interesting, though. So this was Sonia. She said the reason why Bianca was a flower girl at her wedding was because on the night that she met her future wife, Bianca said or yelled, "I'm going to be the flower girl at your wedding one day." And so there we are. She was the flower girl. Now, what's interesting is some in the background here as well. We will get to that later, right? Jessica Carr with a positive comment. Carmella with a positive comment. 2K24. We love you, Bianca. EST says Cody. Rhea with comments. I mean, it was brilliant. But here's one of my favorites. Hurricane Helms says, anybody hating on Bianca can suck my whole butt. That's the best. That's the best. So that was good. And look at this. You don't expect this from Joe Gacy, but I'm getting a digital copy. But is there any way I can get a hard copy? The one with Bianca on the cover. Nice, isn't it? And he obviously faced some negative comments himself today as well. So social media, though. Social media is going to do what social media does. Right, let's get into the fun folder, shall we? And Mark, shout out to you. So Mark created these. I said, I don't mind. You've got my permission to create Wrestling Daze AI art, right? I just think that I love this fun folder, and that's something that I am happy to explore. So this first one looks lovely. I don't know like what it's meant to be. 2 E's on Daze. I can cope with that. Wrestling Daisy is what we've got there. So that was pretty cool. Then we went to this one, which I think, I don't know if I am the one in the mask or which one I am. I hope I'm not this one over here. But YouTube Al Kelly Liba Wrestling Days. So, or this one, oh my God. Actually, the more you study it, the more horrific it gets, actually. But yeah, that was pretty fun. Another one. This one is Dustin Drazi of Onal. Resai days. So, you know, this is basically me throughout the different phases of my life. That's me in my AJ Styles phase. That's me in my... It looks a bit like Joey Ryan, but I didn't have a Joey Ryan phase. That's me in my Black phase over there. That's me in my Mankind phase. That's me in my Sheamus phase. So, yeah, that's this is pretty fun. And then, look at that. Wrestling with 2 T's. This I can't cope, can it, with words? Putting in extra letters. This is 2 T's. There's me. I'm guessing that's me. Just like some sort of god. Some sort of business god. Look at all these, like, broken down wrestlers. I'm not overseeing, like, a healthy wrestling promotion, am I? It's like an inbred wrestling promotion with some of the most weird mental gibberish signs I've ever seen. In fact, everything about this is strange. Everything about this is strange. So, there we go. I did enjoy those. So, Mark, thank you. Appreciate it. Right. Oh, yeah. Check this out.
Cody, I'm a teacher. Tell my students to do their homework. Do your homework. Right.
There we go. Cody, I'm a teacher. Cody, I'm a teacher. Tell my students to do their homework. Do your homework. Imagine the teacher showing his kids that when he goes back to school the next day. Amazing. So, Paul, thank you. Watson, oh my god, this is so good. Chan Man said it's a good thing that Gunther was there to hold his little brother up. It's referring to this. Look at this. Look at this. This dude went out and got so drunk just before his wedding. Chan Man said it's good that Gunther was there, and he really does look like Gunther. Listen, if you was this woman, wouldn't you have second thoughts at this point? I mean, it's your wedding day, and look at what it is that you're marrying. And where are they getting married as well? Like on a flipping runway? Like, what's going on? Man, look at this dude. He is gone, man. They're laughing. Like, the people that are filming this are laughing. He's like... Congratulations! He stumbles forward, kind of goes right. I don't think he knows who he's just married. I don't think he knows who he's even married. But yeah, it made me laugh, man. That was good. Right, Harry Van Vliet, shout out to you, buds. So, oh my god, just enjoy this. That's all I'm gonna say. Enjoy this.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Out of context.
I am no pervert. Seth Rollins, I'm coming for you, boy. And I'm coming hard.
He's also suffering from anal bleeding.
What? And as far as Bischoff goes, I'm gonna eat his ass.
I had to fight inch for inch to get this, and I'm not about to lay down on my back and let someone cover me.
I thank you very much.
Rey Mysterio not sucking off anybody. Oh, no, that's interesting.
And I'm a man who loves to play with boys.
I mean, this is just warm-up right here.
They wouldn't do that now.
Because I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
And Mark Henry is handling the Big Johnson. The Rock just jerked Helmsley off.
Looks now he's broken the Warrior down, and I'm sure that's the first time in the...
Bang ding dong, he's stone cold. You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Some of them are brilliant, man. Some of them are brilliant. So that is Wrestle Boy Productions that did those. So very, very good. Very, very good. Right, let's unwhoosh that. So Harry, thank you. Here we've got, oh, this is good as well. Let's play this. So, Creative Has Nothing For You said, I think AEW are going to be all right. So, basically, it's someone just working out, like, Tony Khan is worth this much. AEW has lost this much. So, that means that it's X amount of percent of how much money he's got and all of this, right? And so, the joke, of course, is Solo Sikoa trying to work this tweet out because it involves maths. And this is the little clip that was attached. That's Solo Sikoa trying to work it out. Brilliant. That's brilliant. Hang 'em high, just killing it, man. Brilliant. Here, the downfall of main event needs to be studied, right? So we went from Sheamus, CM Punk on main event, champion versus champion, down to, you know, what we get now. And Dijak saw this and he said, study this ratio. So 455 likes, 2.9 thousand, nearly 3,000 likes. So study this ratio, says Dijak. And this from Paul Heyman. He said he broke the internet. So Facebook and Instagram went down, right? And Paul Heyman just pointing out that this was at the time where he was trending because of his Hall of Fame induction. So Heyman taking credit for breaking the internet. Very good. Right, I think we've done everything, but apart from the other folder, got a few bits in here. So Wrestle Talk just pointing out these new graphics. So we got new graphics for SmackDown, Money in the Bank, and NXT Heatwave, just posters. I don't really ever read into posters, to be honest, because I don't think that the marketing teams know what the plans are for July. Actually, I'd make the argument I don't think even Triple H knows what the plans are for July. He might have a rough idea as to who's going to win Money in the Bank, and he might have a penciled-in idea as to what some of the matches are going to be. But I really don't think that information is passed on to the marketing team because I don't think that's finalized. I don't think it's concrete. I don't think it's set in stone. So they don't know who's going to be featured. It really wouldn't surprise me if they were told Money in the Bank focuses on the mid-card, really. So try and put some more mid-card stars on, right? That would not surprise me if that was kind of the direction they were given. Just a real rough sort of, you know, ballpark thing. So GZ Blaze Official, shout out to you. Just tagging me in the Money in the Bank one. So on here, look, you've got like Ricochet, you've got The Miz, AJ Styles, who just we don't see all that often, Kevin Owens, Seth's on there, you know, and Bianca, LA Knight, Bailey finally makes it onto a poster, but no Roman, no CM Punk, no Cody Rhodes, no Rock. So I would say it's interesting that those big hitters are not on the poster, but it honestly might just be that they said, you know, try and focus on the mid card a bit more because Money in the Bank, we will try and, you know, have mid carders competing for that briefcase. No disrespect to people on the graphic, of course, but I think Cody, Roman, CM Punk, those would be the kind of big names that you would expect to see. But, yeah, I think that's why. I certainly don't look at this and think, oh, does this mean that these are the people that are going to... I don't think that for a second. Mark said, after The Rock's recent videos and generally good deeds, I've gone from boo, hate The Rock, to, oh, that's nice, he's got a point, why not speak up, Cody? Now, ... Now, he's got his own men's care line coming out. Papatui? So there's a whole 4-minute video here about a new line that he's got coming out called Papatui, all skincare stuff. Crazy. Literally the only way to eat. Dominik is my favorite wrestler, says Sam Roberts. So here's a quote. Look, he loves chicken tenders. He has to have ranch. He can't have ketchup. Can't have mayo. It has to be ranch. He's got the diet of a child. It's fantastic, says Rhea. I thought this was a good comment. So this was about AEW, right? So Noah said, it's weird to me that suddenly, because the rating has come out, the show quality is now in question. I swear my timeline was filled with people saying how much they enjoyed last night's show. But because it doesn't draw a huge rating, suddenly it's no good, ? And Dave Meltzer said show quality doesn't determine rating. What determines the rating is the interest level of what is advertised and the competition on TV. So it's really interesting. I think it's a good point. You know, people might say, well, this match sucked, that match sucked, blah, 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 blah. This is why it wasn't good. What I would say is that if you have got people watching, the quality of the show will keep them around. The longer they're around, the higher the rating will be. So there is some truth still to the quality of the show impacting on the rating. But what I would say is that the advertising of the show, the things that you said, you know, don't miss this show, you got to tune in, was that strong enough? I think that's a really good point, because I didn't think that Dynamite this week really had shouted about much. You know, Revolution was about Sting going away and us saying goodbye to Sting. So what about that meant people needed to tune into Dynamite? What about Sting going away then set up any intrigue for Dynamite? I would argue that it didn't. I would argue that we all said goodbye to Sting and then we moved on with our lives. So Dynamite, I don't think really had a great deal that was bringing people in. I know they tried to do a bit of a last minute kind of Bucks big announcement. And I know that there was word on the Wednesday of Okada signing. But it was all very late. It was all very late in the day. I don't think they'd set it up very well. So I just thought it was a really interesting comment and something that we could have a quick little conversation on. Sportskeeda just revealing a comment from Mercedes. Mercedes said, "Summit told me I needed to do this and stand up for myself. It was a very hard decision because wrestling in WWE has been my whole life. It's the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my whole life. But it's the most proudest. It's crazy because I would not be sitting here living the best version of my life in getting to be everything I've ever dreamed of and more." So Mercedes making it very clear she does not regret leaving, and she is living the best version of her life right now. What was that on? That was on Kick Rock's Wrestling Podcast. Adam, shout out to you. So CM Punk's going to be at WWE World. That's the new name for Access. And this doesn't massively surprise me that these stars are going to be there because Access always had these kind of stars. The CM Punk one's interesting, though, because obviously he's injured. But I think we expected him to be at WrestleMania, didn't we? Even if he's not on the show, I would still expect him to be around and backstage. And he hasn't been at WrestleMania for so long. And there's lots of people that he's reconnected with that I'm sure he's going to want to be there to kind of share in the moment with them backstage. So I don't know. This ain't a surprise to me. I expected him to be there. I expected him to be on the show. I still think he could be a host, a guest commentator, guest timekeeper. He could be involved in a moment. You know, him coming out at WrestleMania 40, just even to announce the attendance would be a little moment, wouldn't it? To see CM Punk at WrestleMania again. So, yeah, I can't say I was surprised, but it was definitely a big talking point. Adam here thinking he's definitely going to get involved during night 2. WrestleTalk said WWE's parent company TKO seems to have changed their logo from green to silver. And I saw this. Look, Alan Cheap Shot again said Sergeant Slaughter advertising Le Zinc sunscreen. So just a fun retro advert there. Win a trip for 2 to Orlando and dinner with Sergeant Slaughter. This is obviously very old. I don't know the year. Has it got it bottom? 87 by the looks of it. 1987. Yeah, right. That's the comments about Okada. So he's signed a 3-year deal for 2 billion yen, which I think is 3.5. Is it 3.5? $4.5 million a year, which we were looking and comparing to current stars is quite high. I think Seth is on about 3 million. So for Okada to be on 4.5 a year is really high. Drew McIntyre apparently is on 1 million a year. So basically, Okada is 4.5 Drews. So it is crazy. It is really, really crazy. It's much higher than I thought you'd be getting, but maybe that explains why he didn't go to WWE. And this, oh, so do you remember I said earlier about that in the background? There's a hidden little thing. It's this. It's Bo, and that looks like Liv. Can't quite tell because the hand's in the way, but I'm 99% certain it's Liv. Very close. I know this isn't really news that they're in a relationship, but I've never seen them together. I've never seen them actually together. I've heard they're in a relationship, but I don't think I've ever seen them pictured together. So that caught Fade Away Media's attention and caught my attention as well. And he looks happy as well, doesn't he? Bo there. He looks happy. This is from Shayna's wedding, which was not that long ago now. So Fade said, I wish nothing but happiness for Bo Dallas. So this was an image that caught my eye. I thought it would be an image that would catch yours as well. So that's it, my friends. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate the support. Obviously, tomorrow's Unseen, I'd imagine, is going to have a lot in it because of Rock and Roman and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll be eating goods. And on top of that, we got so many streams. There's so much going on. I've got so much work to do. I need to run away right now. So thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support as always. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.